the record came out. It was a great success. Hank took off.
Right.
Okay, the Sugar Hill Gang took off. These guys went to stratosphere. They was on Soul Train, American Bandstand, in all the magazines. Hank never even said, I'm leaving, I ain't coming back. He just left and didn't come back.
Right.
We were left our own devices. So the crew that he left was disbanded. People were breaking up. The only two left was me and JDL.
Wow.
So me and JDL formed the group, the Notorious Two.
Right.
And we performed at different events, parties, back in the days at clubs. We got booked a lot. I was still between my, between my old groups and the people who wanted me to perform with them. So I was performing with Charlie Chase, with Africa Islam. I was still doing Casanova Fly party, you know what I mean? I was all over the place until JDL and I joined the Cold Crush Brothers. Okay. And then that kind of solidified that era, and from then on, that was us. You know what I mean?
And now bringing it up to 2014, because it was years in between that, the shenanigans of that act, until recently, and it's been, we've been on Facebook, and this is what should happen, and let's start a petition. And
you've seen all that, right?
Because y'all was there typing away. This is what we should do, because it was the induction into the Hall of Fame.
Exactly.
I was like, really?
Rappers Delight got inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame. And when I heard it, I figured, wow, this is a new light being shed on the song. Right. Now that Wonder Mike, myself, and Master G are like kind of together, and we're doing things together and performing, because they left too. Okay. They left Sugar Hill Records a long time ago. Master G left first. A couple years later, Wonder Mike left. So the original members, two of the original members, aren't even there. Wow. The manager of the Sugar Hill Gang took over Master G's spot, and he became Master G. And then he got some other guy to fill in for Mike, and the three of them became the Sugar Hill Gang.
Wow.
Now Mike and G are together. They're together doing stuff. So now they're performing, but they can't use the name Sugar Hill Gang. They can use formerly known as Sugar Hill Gang. So when they declared their independence, they kind of got with me. Okay. Like, really? Like, you wrote Hate Stuff? Like, all that time, they didn't know. Like, they're saying that they didn't know.
Like, you listen to it. There's a name in there. Listen to it. Who do you think wrote it?
You know what? When I do that song for people today and I tell them the story, they're like, oh! Because nobody really stopped to figure out. Why did he say, I'm the CASN, the OVAN, the rest is FLY? Nobody even spelled it out to figure. Why is he saying he's Casanova Fly?
Speaking of which, is that the background for, is that the motivation for why you came out with the MC video?
MC's Delight.
MC's Delight is the answer to Rapper's Delight.
Well, we're going to keep on talking. We're going to let them check out the video right now.
That's like the original diss record.
Well, you know what? The problem is that it came 25 years after the song. Like, if I had did this in 79 or 80, it would have been an answer. But what happened is that I got tired of doing interviews and people asking me about Rapper's Delight and tell me about your involvement with Rapper's Delight. Why did Hank steal your rhymes and go off to become rich and famous? And you, CAZ, well, you know, you know what I mean? So the problem was, it's like, you know what? That's it. Right. I'm tired of getting interviewed for a record that I'm not getting paid for. Right. I'm not even credited as a writer on it. So that last interview request kind of, made me do this song. Okay, MC's Delight, Casanova's Revenge.
Truthfully, I don't even think they getting paid on it, so who's the real
Well, to be honest, you're absolutely right. The Sugar Hill Gang aren't getting paid from Rapper's Delight either. What happened was...
And the label's closed now.
Huh?
And the label's closed.
Oh, well, Sugar Hill Records is over with. The studio burnt down, all that. But the thing is, not only did they take my lyrics, did Hank take my lyrics, okay, and not do it the right way. Right. But they also took the music for the song Rapper's Delight from the song Good Times. Right. Good Times was produced by Nile Rodgers in the group Chic.
Right.
Nile Rodgers is a producer in music, so he knows the rules of the music business. So when they use Good Times without permission, right away he sued them.
Okay.
He sued Sugar Hill Records for the entire song.
Sweet.
Okay, not only the production, not only the music, he took the publishing.
Wow.
So now Rogers owns my publishing, Wonder Mike's publishing, and Master G's publishing because the Sugar Hill Gang stole their song.
You know, the same thing happened to Peter Guns and them too.
Right.
Well, Peter Guns and Lord Tariq, yeah, they used Peg, Steely Dan's song, which is like an old white rock group.
Right.
And they should have learned from Biz Markie when he used Gilbert O'Sullivan's song and he sued. They implemented the sample laws behind Biz Markie.
Okay.
Okay. Before that, people were sampling people's music left and right with little recourse, with no feedback. But once Biz Markie sampled Gilbert O'Sullivan's song, okay, it was a wrap. That man came after him with a fury. And it made them implement these sample laws.
Right.
Okay.
It's Spring Again, that one, right?
It's Spring Again. Was it It's Spring Again? No, it was Alone Again. Gradually. It was that song.
Okay.
But let me ask you, right? You know, just not take it away from it, but did you ever try to pursue like getting your portion out of the deal lyrically wise?
Well, you know what? In the early days when it first happened, it was just like somebody dissed you and you just kept it moving.
Right.
You know what I mean? I didn't know about royalties and publishing and mechanicals and this and that. I didn't know. And I didn't know how big Rappers Delight would become. So once it was like, oh, it's like that? All right, well, you know, I'm going to keep it moving too. Okay. I joined the Cold Crush Brothers. And then my mindset was building them up. I'm not thinking about Hank and the Sugar Hill Gang or anything anymore. I've moved on. So I joined the Cold Crush Brothers, and we went on to make our own history in hip-hop. Okay? And in the early days, no lawyer wouldn't touch it. I couldn't find a lawyer that would go against Sugar Hill Records or them back then.
They were backed by gangsters.
Exactly. They were backed by gangsters.
But that's what I was talking about. Like, you know, it's amazing because now, like, you know, so many things just on computer, like if you send lyrics through the mail or whatever, there's so many ways to have a footprint on it. I was wondering, like, you know, back then you couldn't.
There was no traceable footprint for that.
Right.
I couldn't come up with the original lyrics I had written on paper to take the course. And listen to when I wrote this right here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I couldn't do that. And the only other thing was to get to Hank, come to court. I need you to come to court and say that I wrote these lyrics. Hank said, I can't do that.
He's not going to do that.
He said, I can't do that. That's the last time I spoke to Hank, and this is during like the 90s or something, when I was trying to get this done. I said, Hank, listen, I'm trying to get my money, man, from this song. I need you to go to court for me, man. He's like, I can't do that, man.
What you were asking to do is say he was a fraud.
Yeah, admit you're a fraud, and then I wrote all the lyrics.
Really?
The reason why I said that because it personally happened to me. In hip-hop.
It happened to you as well?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Directly. Chill Out, Cool Chip, Born to Be an MC. We wrote that up in my house. Now, they might say something different, but I beg for them to come and see me about that.
Right, say it in front of you.
I'll bring my crew around, and because we did the thing, went up there, you know what I'm saying? But they still tried to deny. We couldn't get no money from it. But what I'm saying is that a lot of people like you and like myself, you know, we don't get that. We don't get that recovery from it.
No.
You know, so many things that we did, but you know what was great about it is that we're able to capitalize from it because we're talented. Right. It's a different, like, people can take stuff from you and you're going to just come back and create something.
Because I got more. It's not like, you took something and I'm done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I felt that way. I think that was part of my attitude back then. It's like, all right, he got a couple of rhymes. That ain't nothing, you know what I mean? Rhymes I got. You know how much more that I got, you know what I mean? So I was kind of, I felt like I was kind of removed from it to a sense. It wasn't until years later and after all these years, you know, that the song, that people are starting to look at it, well ain't you going to do something? Like, can't you do something about it?
Yeah.
Who knew this song would go on this long? Who knew that it, you know what I mean? But now there's definitely a concerted effort going forth now to recover our rights to our lyrics. 30 years is up.
Right.
It's over the statute of limitations for you to own something like that. Just like Techniques, when they had those turntables.
Yeah.
Nobody could touch that technology until the patent was up. Now that the patent is up, anybody can make a Technique turntable.
There you go.
Okay, so the same thing with the lyrics. So now there's, like I said, there's a concerted effort. We got lawyers in place that are trying to